Good morning, DragonCon, from the broken holodeck of the Cerritos. I'm going to get someone from the lower decks to come and fix this thing. It's super inconvenient, but at least the broadcast is working. I, Brian Richardson, am here to help you navigate day 2 of DragonCon Goes Virtual with my co-host Sheena and Steven beaming in from the eastern side of the United States. How are things going over there?
Things are well. I'm just thankful I don't have to get up as early as you do.
No kidding.
Well, I mean, in a relative space, we're all getting up at the same time, but on a practical space, it's like super dark outside. I am used to getting up early on Saturday anyway at DragonCon, but I'm used to getting up and then going to host the parade. And now I'm getting up and going to my kitchen to have a bowl of honey nut Cheerios. It's a little bit of a different con this year, but I think we're going to have fun with it. Today on the show, we're going to take your fan Q&A. So cue those questions up. We'll be monitoring the main events channel on Discord, and also check us out on our live broadcasts. Those are going out live, right, on Facebook and also on the tubes of you. We're also going to be covering some stuff about the schedule, talk about some of our favorite things coming up on Saturday, and we'll be interviewing, he says, like a broadcast professional, Justin Schoendorf, who's going to teach us about mead. It's a lovely, lovely subject. So again, get some questions ready for that. And also we'll be talking adorable pets later on today. So Sheena, let's get the mead conversation going.
Yes, definitely. I would love to bring out our first guest, Justin Schoendorf, who is the founder of Monks Meadery. And not only that, he makes Dragon's Nectar, the official mead of DragonCon 2020. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Glad to have you. So I hear that you generally dress like Chuck Norris when you come to the con, when you come to DragonCon. How did that all get started? Well, when did you first start coming to DragonCon, and why Chuck Norris?
So I started going probably as much as 6 or 7 years ago. And it was probably 3 years ago that Chuck Norris, the costume, chose me. And the way that worked is I had a different costume for Friday and then Saturday, and it was Sunday. And I had just got back from Vietnam, and I got this. These are kind of pajamas, but it has a pretty cool embroidered dragon on the back.
Nice.
And I hadn't been in the hotel but for 3 minutes when a group of people came by, and they wanted to get a photo with me. And I was like, all right. Didn't quite know what I was. I'm wearing pajamas because it has a dragon on the back. And I don't even make it another 10 feet, and I got another group of people that want to get a photo with me. And by the time the 5th group came through, I was like, who am I? And I got this, I get it from time to time, like, hey, you look like Chuck Norris, but you put me in this outfit, suddenly I'm Chuck Norris from The Way of the Dragon, and I decided to embrace it. So I've leaned in, and I am now the costume chosen. So that's what it is.
I mean, philosophically, I always ask myself, who am I? But I never get like that after like dozens of people come to the con and start like pointing and yelling.
Yeah,
so,
did you have to ask the people taking the picture?
Yeah, I had to ask who I was. It was so amazing. It was amazing. And then once I knew, then I could lean into this.
I'm glad DragonCon could help you find yourself, Justin.
Right?
I'm glad it could help you find yourself.
That is hilarious. That has to be the best cosplay story I have ever heard. That was gold right there.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's why I'm wearing this today. This is the costume. It's like my sorting hat. And and so this is what I got.
Oh, there you go. Now that's a more recognizable look. That you pretty much have to know who you are to roll out with that look. I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I have another question for you, Justin. So you have collaborated with DragonCon to make Dragon's Nectar this year, our official mead. I have a question. What is the difference between beer and mead? Because I am not a beer girl, but I tasted this Dragon's Nectar and it is quite tasty. So hats off to you. And yeah, what's the difference?
So basically, the difference between what you're making has to do with where your fermentable sugar comes from. So if you start with grapes, you're going to make wine. If you start with apples, you use the sugars in the apples, ferment that to make alcohol, you're making cider. And so mead, the base of it is honey. So in every single one of our products, all of the fermentable sugars are coming from a honey of some sort. And so this is a video here. This is after we use drums of honey. There's a little bit of honey that's kind of on the outside. And when you saw the bees are actually gravitating to that, they can smell the honey in the air, and they'll come as far as 3 miles away. And they're coming to actually clean up. So there's very little waste. We put the barrels outside, and it's usually 30 minutes, hour later, and then you're mobbed with bees. And then an hour after they all show up, everything is spick and span, perfectly clean.
The bees are like, was that Chuck Norris?
Yeah. That's awesome. You have your own personal cleanup crew.
Yep, exactly.
How do you guys make the mead?
So the mead we make is in it. We have 6 different varieties, so they're all a little bit different. But in a nutshell, we dilute honey with water. Honey on its own is actually really stable. It's a preservative. There's honey that's been found in Egyptian tombs that's 10,000 years old. So, wow. And it's still edible. And so in order to make that honey not as stable, you dilute it with water, which lowers the sugar content. And what's kind of fun about it is if you lower that level a lot, then you can make a session mead or a lower alcohol. Or if you keep a lot of honey in there, you have a lot of sugar to start with, you're going to make a lot of alcohol. So then you can have something like our regular mead is a more traditional style. And that is 12% alcohol. And it's traditional in that there's only 2 ingredients. It's honey, water. Of course, there's yeast in there that's used to ferment. That's filtered out, and then we carbonate and we package. But everything else is fermented honey blended with fruits or herbs, right? I use hibiscus in a couple things. I use tea. We use peaches to make peaches and tea. We're in Georgia, kind of makes sense.
Athens, right?
So yeah, we operate out of Southern Brewing Company in Athens. Mm-hmm. And the photo you have here is the day that 2 weeks ago, we were fulfilling orders. So people were coming up, picking up all of their Dragon Nectar. That's my friend Alan. And here, that's a photo of a pallet of mead right before it went out to the distributor.
Nice.
It's a lot of mead.
It is.
It's a lot of mead.
We made a lot, but you know what? DragonCon, you've got a lot of fans, so it kind of made sense.
This is true. So you did you make any other flavors for DragonCon, or is this the only one?
This was the only thing specific for DragonCon. You know, in doing the mead, I think the fan base, a lot of people are familiar with it, but a lot of folks didn't actually know what it was. So I wanted something that was going to be super easy and approachable, and not too alcoholic, because then it would be more expensive. So we wanted it to something that everyone could get into. And then from a taste profile, I wanted something that was light and fruity. You know, for example, someone's got to drink this at 6:30 in the morning. You know, like
I'm just saying.
I want to make that as easy for everyone as possible. So I think this is a nice introductory mead, and it turned out really, really well. I'm very pleased. The 3 ingredients are passion fruit, hibiscus, and then, of course, we have to use dragon fruit. Only made sense. Here we are canning. So let's see. Yeah, cans just got filled, and they're now getting their caps put on.
Cool.
This is the beginning part of your canning process. So things come off a pallet. The cans are sterilized. They're dated on the bottom. They're spun upside down, right side up, and then they go into the filler.
Awesome.
There.
Nice.
Yeah, and I really sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I really appreciate the flavor profile. As someone who, like a lot of hibiscus drinks, I'm like, that's a lot of hibiscus. But I felt like the balance in this one was really great.
Man, I thank you very much. The overall feedback from folks has been super positive. So I'm really excited about how it's been received. And again, right, if we're introducing people to this category that they haven't tried before, I wanted it to have that mass appeal.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, I'm saying I'm kind of thirsty now. We probably ought to look at some of our comments from fans while we give this a try. Because I mean, just in the interest of science, because there's a lot of science content. I now have to hang on. I love this noise. Oh, there we go.
Good stuff.
Waft, Jeff, gently waft for the flavor notes. We got any comments coming in from online? We can use that to stall while we sip.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good question.
Rose at Discord asked, does Monks Meadery make their own honey? Great question.
So we've got 3 hives at the brewery. The hard part is I think we got 150 pounds of honey, but I used somewhere right for the Dragon's Nectar. We used somewhere in the neighborhood of, 10 drums. So almost 7,000 pounds of honey.
Wow.
So I have to buy honey. That process in itself is absolutely a job. And so as much as I would like to, no.
Those poor tired bees.
Yeah, we do have a question actually from Cozy Voyager, and this is related to our friends down at the Georgia Renaissance Festival. Is this the same mead that was going to be at the Georgia Renaissance Festival?
No, this was done special for DragonCon. I do 2 things, or we actually have 3 products that have been featured at the Renaissance Festival, which is our regular traditional style. We got a gold medal for that last year at the Mazer Cup. We do our peach. We do 2 of the sessions, and so the peach tea comes in a 16-ounce can. Again, light, easy. The Renaissance Festival happens beginning of summer, so it's hot. So I wanted something that people could kind of drink and wasn't super alcoholic. And then we did Butter Buzz. And so Butter Buzz is butterscotch. Instead of using artificial flavors, I derive it from vanilla, maple, and then I use baking spices. So there's a little clove, nutmeg, and cinnamon. And those are the products that go on at the Renaissance Festival. But in putting this together for DragonCon, I met with the team. I put together, I think, 4 different flavors, and we picked this kind of tropical taste profile. And so this was specifically done for DragonCon.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much. We are so honored.
Oh my gosh, it's been an absolute treat. Not just dealing with the DragonCon team, but the fans have been amazing. You know, we shipped out a bunch of boxes, and not every box makes it to its destination. And you know, we put a lot of pride in trying to make it get to them. And it was just great when we're dealing with people that are having a frustrating time, and they were super patient and they understand. But you know, it's just wild times, and the fan base has been awesome. So we've really quite enjoyed working with people and meeting everybody.
Well, thank you so much, Justin, for being with us today. It was great to have you on, and cheers again. If you guys haven't checked it out, get your DragonCon Dragon's Nectar.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. So much fun.
Yes.
So Monks Meadery is just one of the 4 vendor partners where you can get licensed merchandise. Inter-Etching has these lovely mugs, which is a morning coffee drinker. Who am I kidding? As an all-day coffee drinker, I really appreciate the mug.
For later in the day, not for actually the late show, but actually late, I also have the flask, the DragonCon 2020, the Spirit Lives On flask. Nice pun there. I appreciate that.
Nice. And I have my DragonCon shot glass. It is from Off-World Design, so go and check them out.
All right. And now it's time to check out what our fans are sharing on social media. So please welcome Beth. Beth is going to talk to us about our daily prompts.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Now, social media asked a series of questions in the beginning of the week to see what your DragonCon would be like. And I think by far the most popular is your DragonCon pets. So I know what the people want, and I brought more pet pictures.
Awesome.
Yay!
Show me the child.
So we've got 3 that we brought today. We've got this is Koha the cat.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, that's so cute.
Of course, the cat's like the Punch and Judy show.
And then this is Kaylee Fry.
Oh,
such a good doggo.
Very good doggo.
Precious.
And then we have a very special selection here. These are Pepper, Ginger, and Cocoa.
Oh, get out. Those are lovely.
That is adorable.
I love the variety you guys chose. That was great.
Yeah, I'm always
no actual dragons yet, so I'm a little disappointed. But
I almost brought my snake this morning, but I didn't want to freak anyone out this early.
No,
especially not those guinea pigs. That would have not gone well for them.
That's true. Yeah. Well, tomorrow, what we want to see is what your house looks like. We want to see your setup. Show us your DragonCon den. So if you've got a real hyped up streaming setup with the backlighting, just send us a picture. You can hashtag it MyDragonConDen on Instagram and on Twitter, and we'll pick some of those and show them tomorrow.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I think we're doing the daily fan challenges as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And these are the competitions that they're time limited. Mm-hmm. So they're an 8-hour limit. We release them the 4th. Well, that's yesterday. 4th through Sunday the 6th. You can submit to Instagram and Twitter, and we'll have a hashtag for you. They're due by 5 p.m. So we're making you work on these ones. Today's theme is Better Together. So we've got a couple of different selections for the Better Together category. I think you guys know a couple of them, right?
Do. So for cooking, you can submit anything that is edible. I will stress edible. Cakes, drinks, spaghetti, as long as it is on theme. And today's theme is fandom fusion foods. Take signature dishes from 2 fandoms into one awe-inspiring dish, and you can interpret awe-inspiring however you wish.
Like awe or
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait to see those mashups. For cosplay submissions, that can be costumes and or makeup designs from already owned pieces to things around your home. We want to see what you can create with the items in your home. The more creative use of non-traditional items, the better. For the cosplay category, today's challenge is walk a mile in their shoes. Pick your favorite hero and transport them into another fandom. Lord, I can't talk this morning.
Walk a mile in your shoes. May Chad bless you. For crafting, submissions are anything you can make with your hands. Props, art, paper mache, Lego, replicas. Can you build a mainframe from the things you find at home? Make Legolas out of Legos. He can even make a Legolas with Legos. You can make a, I can never say this, anyway, paper mache. Imagination is your only limit. So DC20 Combination Station is your hashtag on Twitter and Instagram for those submissions. And Beth, when are those due today?
Those are due by 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Eastern. All right.
Now
Well,
I've got a special one. I've got one for the 12 and under crowd.
Okay.
Today we're doing Dragon Draw. So we want to see your most fearsome dragon or your cutest dragon. Just, get your kids together, get some crayons, and draw some dragons.
All right. Draw them dragons, put them on the internets.
So, Brian, just to check, the word you couldn't say was meow meow, correct?
Yes, let's go with that. Meow meow. My cats say it to me all the time, but I'm a terrible learner.
I keep telling my cats to use their words. They never do.
My cat has one word. It just uses it constantly, and it's Mao. Anyway, Beth, thank you very much for filling us in on today's fan challenges. Get to work out there after the show stops, though. We've only got a few more minutes. So, Stephen, let's
cosplay together. How hard could that be?
How hard can it be? He says, knocking on what I think is wood on this table that I put my computer on. Oh, Stephen, let's talk schedule.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on our 3 channels. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight at 7 p.m. today on the Fan Tracks channel is the Vogon Poetry Slam. It is Poetry Slam in the style of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The Vogons being traditionally super awful at poetry. So it's a poetry slam that is deliberately awful. You can have, such an experience with poetry. Maybe it'll be like the experience that you had with poetry in school. Who knows? But I'm very interested to see how that plays out. It sounds like it's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
What are y'all looking forward to?
Definitely must tune in for that.
You can't have the Vogon poetry. I have taken that already. You have to pick something else.
Yeah. Sheena, go for it.
Oh, goodness. I don't know, man. You know what? Honestly, and I know it's not happening until after 5, but I am looking very forward to more pet pictures and more and to see what the kids come up with, like drawing their dragons. I think that's going to be so adorable.
Yeah, cat pictures, please.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to the parade immediately after this, because even though I get to host the parade on the CW locally when it happens, I don't actually get to see the parade. Hosting an event is different than actually sitting back and just watching the event. So a lot of times I get to the end of the parade and I go, that was great. What just happened? So it's actually going to be interesting to leave this and then just go enjoy an event that since the first one, I had a video camera in my hand or a microphone. So that's going to be a new experience for me.
Yeah.
But I think also we want to figure out what the fans are into. In fact, I want to bring Justin back on, because we had a couple of questions and comments about the meads. Justin's been hanging out there in the wings, sipping a mimosa. So let's, first of all, we did have some acknowledgement that Chuck Norris must be respected by the bees. So it's a good look for you. And
it keeps me from getting stung.
Sorry, go ahead.
It keeps me from getting stung. So
it does.
It works out well.
I think mostly it's the beard that gains the bees' respect. Let's bring up some of our questions we had for Justin. Hey, it's Chuck Norris. I got pics with him.
That's really not a question.
It's really more of a comment than a question, but we allow that here. So it's great to see that you've already had fan interaction before they knew you were supplying them with a lovely fruit-based beverage.
That's awesome.
Can you order Monks Meadery online? This is a super important question, so let's make sure we address this one.
Yeah. Every state that it's legal to ship to, we are licensed to ship to. So we can ship, I think, to 42 different states. We actually overnighted some Dragon's Nectar to some guy in Alaska, Anchorage. Shipped it out.
Wow.
Crazy.
Nice. And I can confirm that my 4 cans arrived intact. They're not intact anymore, and there's less than 4 of them, but they did arrive across country. I think we did have a question if any stores will carry your meads.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be distributed statewide in Georgia. Timing was a little tough. Supply chain was really stressed trying to get this out in time. Mm-hmm. And so I was, and the fermentation gods just were not cooperating. So I kind of went to market a little later than I wanted to.
Right.
And so it hasn't hit every store, but my distributor has assured me we're getting it out to every nook and cranny. And all these stores have the capability of buying it. So if the store doesn't have it, just ask for it and they should be able to get it. Anybody that has a wine license.
I assume that's just going to be within the state of Georgia?
That is correct. It's just the state of Georgia.
And we had a comment from Terry NB on YouTube. He just wants to thank you for the mead presentation. It's very instructional, actually, to see that entire process. Out here in Oregon, I'm surrounded with people who get bored when it's dark for 6 months out of the year and want to do something fun at the basement. So I've seen people do small batch mead operations, but I've never seen one at industrial scale. So thank you for bringing some science in to the morning process. We are now awake and enlightened.
Love it.
And with a slight bit of hibiscus on the tongue, it turns out. We did have a couple of other general comments or questions pop in. I think one of them earlier on, and I'll get the name when it pops up, but somebody was asking why we look so well rested this morning. And it's because if you take out all of the walking time at con and the elevator wait time, that's another 90 to 120 minutes of sleep you can get. So it's great because you're like, well, the Friday night costume contest is over. Thump. And that's pretty much the end of your day.
Yeah, I'm not getting my steps in.
Yeah, I don't have to rush to run and catch the train in the morning. I can just roll over, throw something on my face, and I'm here.
Yeah.
So yeah, saving a lot of time.
Saving quite a lot of time.
The most rested I have been on a Saturday of DragonCon, I think, ever. It's very weird.
Yes. True story.
Cozy Voyager on Discord says that they like the holodeck background. Thank you. It was supposed to be a tropical beach, but again, I really need to get the lower decks folks up here on the Cerritos to fix this thing. I think the waste disposal system is a little clogged, which means we probably ought to wrap the show up before maintenance needs to come in. So Justin, once again, thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for this lovely consumable product. We did actually have a comment / question of wondering when we'll develop a non-alcoholic drink for con. Think about that one for the next year. My favorite is a little thing called water.
Sure.
Even when you're at home,
water.
Please remember to hydrate. Stay tuned next because we're going to be going to the parade, which will have... it's going to be a wonderful virtual parade this year. The intro is amazing, so stay tuned for that. I want to encourage all the romantics out there to check out the One True Pairing panel. Are you down with OTP? Yes, you know me. That's going to be on the American Sci-Fi and Fantasy track on YouTube at 3 p.m. Eastern today. And join us tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. We'll have special guests, DragonCon Award nominee Sherry Priest and cosplayer Angel of Azarath. Again, stay tuned for the parade coming up. Sheena, Stephen, I look forward to seeing you bright and early tomorrow morning. Thank you for joining us again. And thank you at home, apartment, wherever you're watching. Stay tuned for more amazing DragonCon.
Bye.
Cheers. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your day.